Um, the travel will be where we're starting off. I was thinking how to phrase this. So at the end of last game, though we missed a game last week, you guys managed to defeat Fraz Blue with the assistance of the leaders of the factions in a number of uh, duo of engagements, one of which took place around the Primordial in Gauntlegrim. You also had the assistance of some fairly influential and high power combatants, but you were able to at least withstand the onslaught. Roland took a short trip to the afterlife, but he made it back very quickly with some assistance. And between the end of last game and the beginning of this game, the essential uh, preparations and organizations took place to put you in command of your forces. Mal, do you have a list of those? I believe you were keeping it.
I do indeed. Let me see if I can dig it out here.
So yeah, I also have a backup list, I believe. Let me see if I can double check that. We had 3 scouts plus sticky-footed lizards for us and each of them from the Enclave.
Oh
We
yes,
had the
it's scrolled up. There it is.
we had the Shield Guardian from Lord Roaringhorn. 5 dudes from both Arivian and Strahl. 3 spies and 8 mercenaries from Yasser. So that's what I have. I don't know if Mal has anything extra. I believe he probably does. More
The
comprehensive
list,
list. Yeah.
Handy.
the list is in the Discord. I just quoted it. Should be able to. It's
Out.
not too far back.
That's super
Outstanding.
cool. You can do that. I didn't realize you could do that.
I know, right?
Awesome.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
So, how we are going to go. So, there's been a number of changes in the few months since you were captured in terms of traveling in the Underdark, in the wilds. And as you are going to be traveling with the forces of the surface, you will be essentially bypassing or being avoided by rather than sought out by a number of Underdark hunters that previously would have attacked you. So, as you are moving through the Underdark, where you would hypothetically be attacked by uh, small group of goblins, if it were just you, then you would find yourselves, in this instance, being powerful enough, or this instance being a large enough force that the goblins would skulk into the shadows and hide until you pass. Essentially, you are too dangerous a force. That is one side of the coin. The other side of the coin is you are going to draw attention of large forces. So for that reason, what's that?
That's not good.
For that reason, the majority of your attention, that's things that are going to be mentioned, probably won't be travel in the Underdark won't go to the point of numerous encounters per day when you, as it did when you escaped Velkenvelv. So pragmatically, what travel in the Underdark from this point forward is going to look like is essentially you as commanders deciding how to use your forces. So at any given time, if there is a battle that's worthy of your attention. So there may be instances, and I will give you some synopsises, but there may be instances where your scouts run into some stragglers, some displacer beasts, or something like that. That would be considered an Underdark hazard or something of that nature, a chasm, but that isn't necessarily going to justify mention too much because they're handled by your low level forces, if encountered at all. So what this means is you're going to essentially ignore most of that. when you come across something that is of note to you as leaders and high level adventurers, they're going to be large scale battles. Or at least dangerous battles. So they're going to be handled two different ways. So a large scale battle is going to be a battle that involves essentially forces, a large tribe of goblinoids, hobgoblins, and orcs attacking your force. Just an example. How this would work is rather than have 500 tokens on the map and combat tracker overloaded, there's going to be a presumption of neutralization. What that is basically your forces of basic troops will be battling their forces of basic troops, and the leadership of each side, being you and whoever was on the other side, would do battle. In that situation, there will be a percentage chance of each round. At the end of each round, a 1d20 will be rolled. On a 2 or a 3, one of your NPCs will be wounded. And on a natural 1, one of your NPCs will be killed in a large scale battle. The longer a battle drags on, obviously, the more wounds your side and potential deaths would suffer. Obviously, long scale battles result in more death. So, the other version of the battle are powerful enemies rather than large forces. If you run into, say, a pair of Glabrezu, you can use your forces through a series of options. I will review them when and if you find yourself in this battle, and this is going to be something that you're going to have the option of. So, what the two primary options you're going to have, or I'm sorry, 3 primary options that you are going to have is A, supporting fire. You can essentially order your troops to offer you supporting fire. And I'm going to try and come up with a couple more options for you to use your forces if you so choose. If you have your forces using supported fire, basically it gives you an advantage on attack. Say Agile Smoke is launching an attack with a Glabrezu, and the forces have been ordered, and you decide how you use it. The forces have been ordered to provide supporting fire. That would provide the distraction that would grant him an advantage on his attack. Fair enough?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The second one is healing support. You have druids, things of that nature. A character regains 2d8 hit points at the end of each of your turns, providing obviously that you're not dead. And that can be done up to 3 times per round, however you want to use it. You can have it's done at the end of a character's turn. Basically, 3 people can say, I want to get this supporting healing. And the one you're least likely to use, these are the 3 I have drawn up so far, is once per round, when a player would take a hit, you could essentially have a supporting ally acting as a shield guard for you. And that's a guaranteed injury. With a 1d20, 1 through 10, resulting in the ally being outright killed. Obviously, they're not designed to, or an 11 through 20, them being wounded. If you choose to use these options and engage your troops into these battles, which may be good, the same thing will be applied. If you have, for each factor, healing support or tactical support, supporting fire, that you engage, at the end of each round, I will roll a 1d20, and 1 will result in a NPC being killed, 2, 3 injured, 4 through 20, they're able to do their job, provide healing, tactical support, and no injuries are suffered. So This is kind of a synopsis. I will type it out and give it to you, but this is essentially how you're going to be able to use your troops that you've
Cool.
earned and roleplayed. Like anything else, if you bring them into battle, there's a chance there's wounds. If you order your troops to stay back while you do battle with the Glabrezu, you don't have these advantages, but also they're safe. Now, mind you, they're not wallflowers. They're coming into the Underdark with the understanding of danger, but also don't use them recklessly. So that's where we're going to start off.
Right.
So this is not the. This is the map I wanted. There we go. Happy people. So this is where we are going to find you guys traveling. This is the map provided to you by the Harpers. I believe it was the Harpers. May have mixed those up. So before I charge ahead, does anybody have any comments, questions, concerns, or complaints?
Me and Tyler are using 2 devices, Fantasy Grounds.
Mm-hmm.
I've signed in under the Stickman account. Can you give Agile
yes.
Smoke over to Stickman?
I will free Agile Smoke. That's delete item, but I want that.
No, don't delete them. Oh, God.
Can I release?
Player owner. There you go. He should pop up. You may have to close the player's character screen
Oh, okay.
and reopen it.
Play. Haha.
Hooray!
So, travel, as I've mentioned a little bit, travel in the second part of this adventure is going to be less of a tremendous daily grind as much as it is going to be a synopsis over the days for the reasons I've just monologued. If you do encounter things, sorry about that. I think I lost connection there for a second.
Yeah.
All good.
So if you do encounter things, I'm going to cover it. But we are going to start your travel from Gauntlgrim to Araj, which is the sanctum of Vizier Devere, who has been researching the Demon Lords. Is there anything you guys want to do in Gauntlgrim now that, as I said, the last 10-day organization and preparation has been carried out, and you are ready to depart for the second half of Out of the Abyss, heading toward Araj?
Nothing here.
Okay.
I think I'm good.
The only thing
Yeah.
Spirit would probably do would probably be to make sure her ammo or arrow ammo is restocked, but that's pretty much about it.
What was that?
I said, the only thing Spirit would probably be doing would probably be just to make sure that her ammo count is restocked in regards to her arrows. That's pretty much about it.
You essentially have more than enough ammo,
Yeah,
especially for the group.
yeah. I'll just leave it
So-
as is then.
It's been a while since you guys have seen this map, a quick few games. So this game, or this map, details a number of things. First, obviously, major metropolitan centers. You're in Gauntlgrim.
Mm-hmm.
You also have Neverlight Grove. This has been updated with information you've provided as well, including, Velkenvel, where you started, Slubludop, which isn't probably still there, but it was a metropolitan center you were aware of, so it was updated by me, to be honest. They also have the, if you zoom in, the purplish areas that detail the Demon Lord sphere or area of influence. That's both environmental. That's the area where the environment is being warped. Traveling through the areas of Zuktmoy will show an increase in fungal growth, things of that nature. The tunnels on this map are major thoroughfares. That isn't to say there aren't tunnels that lead between them. They're the primary major trade routes and thoroughfares used in the Underdark. The brown areas, or kind of hatched green for the labyrinth, these are areas of geographical note. The Worm Writhings, the Labyrinth, Aramicus, and the Dark Lake. Some of these you may not even know what it means, and that's okay. So, you are traveling from Gauntlgrim to Araj. Araj is actually located here.
Ah.
Using your sticky-footed lizard, you're looking at about a 42-day travel from there, from where you are to Araj.
Another month in the Underdark. Alrighty.
What's that?
I said another month in the Underdark. 42 days.
But,
Minimum.
Yeah.
so
Well, it's the safest we've ever been so far.
Yeah, that's true.
So a large deal of your travel is going to be summarized. It's one of the advantages of traveling with forces. So, as you set out, you are establishing yourselves in leadership roles. I plan to give you each a follower. We're going to deal with that on between games. I'm going to have you guys set that up. I'll give you those details a little later. If you don't get them from me, if you don't get them, I got a busy week coming up. My kids start school at 6:40 in the morning. So, but you guys travel out of Gauntlgrim. The first day to 2 days, I mean, you are traveling fairly quick. Obviously, you guys are still within areas that are occasionally patrolled by Gauntlgrim, so you don't have any major issues. You have no events worth noting. You are traveling in tunnels that are fairly leveled, kept safe, prepared. So you have nothing of note. Is that music coming through? I got it on.
Yep.
Good. So, on day 3 to 4, you have a minor disciplinary problem. Nothing that is. These are essentially what I'm giving you are the synopsises that your commanders are giving you. Your lieutenants, I should rephrase that. You have a lieutenant from each of the factions. The Shield Guardian obviously isn't in need of commanding anything. You have the Harpers, the Lord's Alliance, the Order of the Gauntlet, and the Emerald Enclave, along with the Zentarum. The Shield Guardian, being the Harpers, doesn't tend to get in too many issues, but the Lord's Alliance, the Order of the Gauntlet tend to get along well together. The Emerald Enclave kind of intermixes here and there. Zentarum are kind of on their own. So, you have this magical map, and as you are traveling thusly, your day 3 and 4, you start to find it's reported to you that there was a little bit of a disciplinary problem and a small outbreak of violence between a member of the Zentarum and the Emerald Enclave scouts. It doesn't necessarily require your involvement. You were informed that there was a disciplinary problem that was handled. People were disciplined. No one was severely injured, and definitely no one was injured past the point of requiring minor medical attention. It is worth noting something I made a mental note to mention in my monologue at the beginning of the game, but I forgot to. So, you're at a point where you may be eventually losing NPCs. The question being, can we just bring it back to life? The average person won't accept being brought back to life. There's a difference in kind, both mentally, spiritually, of an adventurer. and a guard. A guard who is killed won't accept being brought back to life. Roland, struck down by Fraz Erblu in a battle around the primordial Magthera in Gauntlegrim, will accept the offer of his soul being returned to his body. For
I was
whatever
never asked.
it's true. But it is generally assumed that without extenuating circumstances, an adventurer will accept a resurrection, a revivify. An NPC won't, because they just have no reason to. Very few people in the world see standing a post as a guard for the Lord's Alliance or the Zentarum or whatever, gathering their gold. They don't see it as justified in returning from the afterlife. It's actually a fairly philosophical question, but the mechanical answer is you can't resurrect your NPCs without extremely extenuating circumstances.
Okay.
I say without extremely extenuating circumstances because I'm not going to say never, but
Or
I can't
animate
think
dead.
of any. Or animate dead. That's a different situation. Do forgive the minor pauses. I'm drinking Pepto-Bismol. We went to the state fair today after Tasha got off work and ate way too much food. So, Pepto-Bismol it is. But with that, you guys presumably don't want to get involved in too much in the disciplinary issues. They resolve them as much as possible, and then you move on with your travels, unless you guys choose to get extremely involved in it of your own volition.
Well, what was the disagreement about?
So the disagreement essentially was over guard duty. Someone was late to guard duty versus the leeway that's common for the scouts of the Emerald Enclave having very fastidious show up on time, as opposed to in the Zentarum, show up late, you have to pay somebody for covering your shift. This practice did not translate from one group to the other, and so it was led to a disagreement of honor versus expectation of compensation. And so it was addressed. A standard set of rules was established by the lieutenants of what was expected, where people were supposed to be, and if you weren't, what the punishment is. And it was set up by the lieutenants, the leaders of each of the factions, so that there is now a uniform expectation and punishment and consequence for not showing up, instead of, paying someone for covering your shift or getting mad about it. Now there's going to be a clear punishment. This is the type of thing that tends to happen when there's no frequent interaction between forces.
Yeah, I would say that is not our concern.
Not my problem.
Yeah, it sounds like they have it in hand. For now.
For now.
For now.
So, little things worked out before the expedition continues, and it does continue as you do start to get into wilder areas. One of the decisions you need to make is there's no tremendous time difference, but the question is, are you wanting to travel through the worm writhings to get to Araj, or are you wanting to travel through areas that are marked to be under the influence of Zuktmoy? You do have a little information on the worm writhings that you've been provided, and I can provide that to you if you wish.
Yes, please.
Mhm.
Indeed.
So,
Yep.
the worm writhings is a geographical area that is known to be a honeycomb of tunnels that spans hundreds of miles. It's in the the northern reaches of the North Dark. This map is of the North Dark for the record. The Underdark is actually like 60 to 70 times this size,
Oh,
but
Hey,
this is considered the North Dark.
Oh, is that all?
I can send you a map of the actual Underdark. But this area is in the north reaches of the North Dark, and it's essentially carved through the rock by enormous purple worms. It's essentially an
Oh.
area where purple worms tend to nest. They tend to gather in groups, and they travel from all over the Underdark to mate. I am sending you a handy dandy picture of what it looks like in the worm writhings. They're essentially full of perfectly circular tunnels. It's a great place for travel, but you do run an increased chance of running into worms and other adventurers. It's an ideal place to travel because you don't have to as often deal with caverns or chasms because you're traveling through worm tunnels.
And the benefit to this would be not allowing the demon lords to know that the force is left Council Grim.
Well,
Like if we
yes, they
go
do
through Zactomoid's territory, at least Zactomoid would know then, right? Potentially.
it's not unheard of that she would know. Like stepping foot in there, that isn't an area that she is mentally connected to. It's more an area that's been warped by her presence.
But if we run into their forces, then
We also don't have to hold our breaths around like fungal spores and things that I'm assuming are there. If we take the worm writhings instead.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I think I'd rather take our chances with the worms.
Either way, we're probably gonna encounter something, and we're going to kill it, and then keep on going. So, doesn't matter to me.
Oh, and I'm
Worms
gonna
it
be making
is.
it a point of talking to my awakened Zerkwood tree friend
Oh, I thought you were gonna
every day.
be talking to the worms.
Oh, I can talk to worms too. I gotta give him a name though. I don't really know what I want to name him. I'm thinking Meryl.
that's the point. How tall was that thing again?
How tall? I don't know.
Yeah.
He's I think it was just. I can't remember if Tony said it was huge or not. I don't have the stat block anymore.
So he is huge, and
Cool.
you should be able to access the. He was marked as. Let's delete this. We don't need this. What was he marked as? Let's see. As Zerkwood is what he's
Yeah,
marked as.
Awaken Zerkwood or something like that.
I just have him marked as Zerkwood. I should throw it in there as Awakened. Did you send me a token? I never created it if you did.
I did send you a picture, I believe.
Then I dropped the ball on that. So
I think it was on Facebook.
no problem. I can pull it up and work while we work. All right.
The best part of all of this is you guys are talking about how big this friggin' thing is. Dronga already thought Roland was like huge already, so now this thing is like gigantic.
Yeah, it's massive.
Yeah.
Well, it's true. Roland is like 12 feet tall. No?
I'm only 7 feet tall.
It's at least like 30 feet tall for sure.
30 feet.
He has to
I
I'm
thought
jump.
I
what?
did. I swear I sent a picture.
I am looking now through the media. Not seeing it.
Maybe I picked one out and I didn't send it.
I guess more specifically, could your 3-person fit through wormholes?
Yes, it would not have an issue traveling with the party. You can make your way through pretty much any traveled area you wish. The real decision is where do you want to travel?
Yes, the worm ridings.
Worm
Yes, that
ridings.
seems good.
It's time for
Wait, but if it's
worm.
gonna be like the tunnels are gonna be able to accommodate this massive fucking creature, how big are these fucking worms?
Probably pretty sizable.
It depends on the size. The age of the worm.
Oh, that's fucking excellent.
I can drop a token on there. Just throw me the picture when you can. No hurry.
Yeah, no, I thought I picked one out, but maybe I just didn't save and send it to you. That's my fault.
No biggie. So worm writhings was the final decision, or was that Agile Smoke picking an idea?
No, I think that's the final decision. I think,
Yeah, I think we
anyways.
all concurred on that.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I'm on board.
you veer to the north, going through the worm writhings. Travel is tremendously more comfortable. You guys have no issues with food. You have adequate supplies. You're foraging. There's no major issues so far. You travel for 5, another 5th day, 6th day, 7th day, 8th day with no issue whatsoever. The 9th day seems to be a little more rough terrain. You come across essentially an area where the worm that you are traveling in its path is basically a worm that crossed through another area, and so you end up crossing through a area that is a natural cavern. So for what's that's worth, you end up running across that area. To answer your question, Dronga, how big is a purple worm? A purple worm is gargantuan in its adult form, and obviously the subsequent question becomes, how big is that? So a dwarf is a 5 foot by 5 foot, and a purple worm is a 20 foot by 20 foot. So essentially, you are traveling down a tunnel that is 20, let's say, 20 to 30 feet in circumference. So you guys can essentially walk 4 to 6 people. If you were to stand side by side, you'd obviously be kind of squished. So 3 people can walk comfortably down this tunnel side by side without any major concerns.
My God.
Worms are big. So
No kidding.
as you guys travel through the worm writhings on as I said, the 9th day, you come into a more natural cavern. And on the 10th day, the expeditionary force is halted by the scouts when it is reported there is a battle aftermath ahead. Would you guys like your scouts to report, or are you wanting to investigate yourselves?
Spirit's not willing to. She's not willing to endanger anyone. She herself's gonna, volunteer to venture forward to take a look herself.
How good are our scouts?
Good is subjective.
Like, better scout than me?
No. It's definitely not. So there's a couple issues going on here. First, these scouts are going in multiple directions. So you can't go in every direction they're going in.
Right.
But in terms of who is better, there's absolutely no doubt that you are better. If you want an exact numeric example, what is your level total?
Good question. 9.
So you are looking at your what's that? So
What?
I thought I heard someone talking.
Nope.
So in terms of the standard scout of the Emerald Enclave, they're looking at a challenge rating between 1 to 2. In terms of the actual Zentarum, they're looking at a 1 to 3. They're more spies, but they still can function. You also have the Lord's Alliance, things like that. So are they able to detect as a group? They're not operating individually. As a group, are they able to detect most incoming things? Yes. If they were, is there things they're going to miss that you would pick up? Absolutely. I mean, you're miles and miles above. That's why you're the commander.
Yeah, I think it'd be good if we go, no? Or at least I go.
I say, yeah, Spirit will give Spoke some backup on that.
Yeah,
At that point,
I've
should
always
we all
trusted you.
Well, if you're
Can
trying to
provide
be
backup.
sneaky, I probably won't be the best person to go.
Just
Well, we
bear
can
in
always
mind that you
be
can't see everything. Like, yes,
nearby.
this is a good instance. You guys want to look at something. Just bear in mind that you still have to let them do their job. Not that you're not, but there are
Mhm.
times when your expertise is probably justified.
I think this time it is good to go. I think we all go see and get the idea. I was not expecting there to be combat in this area. Like, who is fighting in here? If it's someone fighting worms, who fights them? If it's not even worms fighting, that is interesting.
No, you've got a point. If somebody needs backup, we should probably go.
And we might need everyone's expertise too. I would know many things, but there might be many things I don't know. Let's all go. Let's go.
Okay.
Yep, let's go.
Okay, so you guys travel ahead, and as you are traveling ahead, you do notice that your scouts reported correctly. They are going to towards a clear battle site. There are numerous bodies that look like a grick nest. I don't know if you guys know what a grick is, so you will be getting to see what a grick is. There are a number of gricks in the area. Let me share this. The gricks are a monstrous creature. They tend to be underdark ambush hunters. They hide in the stalagmites and stalactites and fall or lurch out of, depending on above or below. And they have beaks and those clawed tentacles, and they attack random wildlife and things of that nature. But we keep, who we losing? Looks like Mal.
Yeah.
Is that the name? Mariel Span?
Marl Sparn.
Marl Sparn.
I've typed it in there. Oh, you did it too. Cool.
That's good. Worked for me. If you're happy, I'm happy. Let's give. Looks like Mal's typing. I'm gonna give him a minute.
Serious internet troubles. Audio keeps cutting in and out. He's gonna hop off and see what the problem is. Good luck.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So you guys see a battle with Grix, and the Grix are essentially just eviscerated, torn to pieces. So That's what you see ahead of you.
Oh, it's only dead Grick. They didn't get anything?
There's nothing that you see.
Would we know if Grick are like natural to this area?
Yes, without any check, that is something you are aware of. Grick are pretty much natural to the Underdark. Anywhere they can crawl into a crevice and fall onto or lurch out of a hole at a prey, that's where they thrive, which is pretty much everywhere in the Underdark.
I'd want to go up to one of the bodies and just try and like determine what killed it.
Okay,
Like, was it
give me an
weapons?
investigation check.
Yeah.
If you have proficiency in medicine, you can give me an at advantage.
Well, I do not,
Uh-oh.
but I can investigate. Well, usually I can
Sorry,
investigate.
I was talking, but I can help. I have proficient in medicine.
Okay, you can roll your investigation again with his assistance.
Okay. You. Better.
So, what killed them is apparently a creature that was biting, and it seemed to be some arrows used, but the primary weapons seem to be biting, like claws, and there's a couple areas that look like there was some scorpion stings. This doesn't seem to match up with any knowledge. You see everything, you're able to identify it. The wounds where there seems to be a sting are discolored, indicating poison, but those same creatures are also rended with fangs, very large mouths too. Some small bites, some large bites, but whatever got a hold of them looks like it grabbed it, or numerous of them grabbed it in its mouth or from multiple mouths and ripped them apart.
And some arrows, you said?
There's an occasional arrow here or there, but that is definitely not the primary weapon of choice. Almost like an arrow or two was lobbed before the range was closed.
The arrows suggest the sentient force, no? Yet the massacre suggests otherwise, but
I can't even fathom what could have done this. Something that can at least use 2 arms to fire an arrow, but chose its teeth as a weapon of choice in closer combat.
or it was the force, right? Like dexterous fighters combined with the beastly fighters.
You know,
Oh.
that kind of sounds like those
That-
those hyena creatures that we ran into early on.
Nina? What the
I
fuck?
believe they were called a knoll.
Yes.
Oh, those
But I'm
fucking.
just guessing.
I mean,
Good a guess as any, no? Yes.
that's definitely possible. I've definitely seen some of them, and they've been less than pleasant during
Did you see when you saw them? Did you see one who had his shirt open, showing his chest hairs and a nice red band around his head?
I thought we killed that one.
Well, yes, but I thought maybe Dranga knew of this.
Don't
I
ring the
think
bell.
I think he'd call himself Ram Knoll.
Yes.
Tony, would I know that name? know this Noel?
You would
Ram
not.
Knoll.
That was a knoll they named Ram Knoll.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured. No, sorry, don't know this.
Oh yes, very strong combatant. We
He had this weird piece of metal that looked like a barrel, almost.
yes.
I'm just fucking around.
Well, maybe we could get back to what the issue is.
I think we just. I mean, obviously we're in a dangerous area, anyways. But we should be aware that if our hope was to avoid combating forces by going this route, there is hostile forces.
Can I, Tony? Can I look at the bite marks closer and see if I recognize like the shape of them?
You can. It will be a nature check.
Oh, my nature shit.
Well, that's
My
that was
nature's pretty.
almost a 14.
Oh. Nature check. Okay, yeah, never mind. For some reason, I thought I was looking at something else. Never mind.
I'll try and help. Kind of. Nope.
We're both like, oh no.
Yeah, I should have probably picked that one instead of perception since we got fucking a rogue ranger.
Yeah.
Yeah, if mine was survival, then yeah, I could do something slightly halfway decent, but
So, what you are able to determine is that it is bestial. It is definitely a long, slender muzzle, but it's that's about all you get.
Yeah. Well, I guess somebody could have fired the arrow and then had a pet that was a beast that bit the guy after.
Yeah, I mean, my
Doesn't have to be
initial
necessarily
thought was the drow, but I don't think they have any beasts that would have that. So I think I'm still gonna.
I think
think
it
it's
beats
probably-
like that. But it doesn't matter. Like we should just be aware that this is not a thing that is gonna.
Yep. Just keep an eye out.
Yeah. Good to me, and I'll unsheath my my battle axe from my waistband.
Okay. Is there anything else you guys want to look at or do?
I can't think of anything in particular.
I guess. Are we heading in that same direction, or are we
You
supposed to
don't
head
know.
away from this?
This is more of a natural cavern that took place or that you stumbled across.
Let's return to the group and continue on.
Okay.
We're gonna
Fair
have
enough.
we're gonna have to fight something eventually. There's no way that we're gonna get through this unscathed.
No. Good mindset. I've got my axe. I'm ready. And like Tony, I will be on the lookout. Like as we're walking, just have my battle axe ready to swing at any hint of aggression towards the group.
Okay.
Hoping in that I don't get surprise attacked. But we shall see.
The expeditionary force continues after departing. You don't find any major signs of another fight. You travel another few days. You travel. I'm using this in days out of Gauntlgrim because it seems to be the easiest, since you're about 40-ish days, 10 days away. You travel another, day 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and nothing. You're a good distance. Let's see. I actually have some tokens. I'm not going to use them right now.
Woo.
Can I get a hold of this? I need to actually use it. All right.
Whoa.
Oh, there we go. I'll just delete that one. I have a token I'm going to use. I wasn't a huge fan personally of the map size here because it's actually hex. I was hoping to use a Photoshop-esque program to modify this so that it wasn't so unusual, so the tokens matched up. So out of Gauntlegrim, you're roughly here in this
Please.
area. I can't really. That's one of the things I'd like to do is be able to delete the snap to grid. There we go. I knew it was a feature they were adding soon, and they did add it. Good. Okay, so you're about right here, and taking the major thoroughfares, and as you know, finding some of the early battles. You are about right here on day 16 when you are essentially reported to that there is an opposing force whose scouts are being spotted. Your scouts are retreating from their forward scouting posts back to the main body. The reports they're sending are that they essentially made contact with scouts of another force that are moving forward. So essentially, you are being bared down upon by a pack of gnolls.
Oh,
The
Pack
read.
of gnolls. What's that?
Roland did a good job reading that. That's good.
Holy fuck, I'm good. I was hoping I wasn't right, but
So you're looking at about 50 gnolls. It's a war band.
50 that are tracking us?
Well, they're not tracking you. They're
We're
essentially
head-on collision.
attacking anything they can find.
Yeah.
And your paths, as I said, that's one of the downsides is when you're traveling with giant lizards. One of the upsides is you run across things, and those things typically have no interest in fucking with a 40, 30 man woman expeditionary force. But at the same time, you cannot squeeze through the same areas that 5 adventurers can on foot. You have to stick to the major thoroughfares, which is also where they're hunted. Think about like being in a wagon. You know, you got pack lizards and things like that. You guys have supplies. You have to stick to the major thoroughfares, and if you're hunting, where do you go? Major thoroughfares. So you essentially have ran into a warband, a gnoll warband. So how this is going to work is I'm going to pull up a battle map that I'm sure you guys are going to enjoy as you are passing through. And the forces of the gnolls are going to be countered by your own forces. As the scouts report back, your expeditionary force in their own platoons, broken up by their companies and their factions, begin forming battle lines, and they are supporting each other as they've been doing battle drills and things like that because the Underdark's not a friendly place. And they are drawing up battle lines. Your job, should you choose, is to decide whether you wish to seek out and engage the warband leadership, and if so, if you do, how this is going to go is every round there's a potential for your NPCs to be wounded and or killed.
I mean, Dronga's more than willing to do it.
Yeah, well, we can't let these band of gnolls run wild. They could attack somebody else who's less prepared.
Well, we take them and we take them head on.
So I'm going to start putting your tokens on the map. If you're not on the map, that's okay. I am dragging everyone over right now.
Oops.
And Roland is missing, and Shield Guardian. There you go. That is your force. Everybody see their tokens, or do I need to make it a little easier?
There we
Nope,
go.
I see it.
Outstanding. So, the scouts essentially reported to you that there are, in addition to the ones that the gnolls that are sweeping over your troops or moving towards your troops, the leaders, as far as they knew, were a trio of commanders, each with a bodyguard pair of wolves, hyenas specifically. So I'm going to send you some pictures. Let me close this map so I don't have it all up in my way. So the commanders are a trio of flyings. They're essentially very powerful gnoll leaders that tend to be exceptionally strong, and but they don't tend to be seen on the prime material plane very much unless they are empowered by something. I'm sure you guys can do some math on what those tend to be, what it is that empowers them. Now, the report your scouts gave you before they retreated was that the commanders, three commanders, each had a bodyguard of a demonic-looking hybrid hyena scorpion thing. So I will let you guys arrange yourselves in any way you choose. I have unlocked the token.
What general direction are they in?
So this battle map is going to essentially signify a couple things. Your troops are going to be essentially, let me see if I can make this easier. I want to zoom out a little bit. So your troops are occupying the southern half of this map. So your troops are moving in this the bottom area, basically this area right here. The gnolls are attacking from the north.
Where all the bones are.
The party leader, or the warband leadership, is essentially up here. You're going to be essentially fighting your way towards the leadership as the leadership is fighting their way towards you. All around you, there's going to be, as you can probably hear, battle taking place. This is your forces fighting their forces. You're probably not best suited to stand toe to toe with every gnoll in the warband. You may be able to cut him down quick, but that would also leave the warband leadership free to cut down your people. So, if you guys, let's say, arrange yourself in this tunnel however you see fit, somewhere in this pink box, and I'll lock the tokens and we'll start the battle.
Alright.
Does anybody want to move Adra Nix and the Shield Guardian, and I will take over her abilities.
Yeah, Adria would be near the back, and I guess the Chill Guardian might be up like right beside Django.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'm gonna be front line. I'm hoping maybe I'll ask Roland to bring Miles Sparn in the front with me, or if he
Yep.
wants to take a picture.
No, he'll come up front, or I'll order him to go up front or ask him to. I won't order. Not my style.
He gets up to me, I'll be ordering him around.
You would
Oh, I
Eh,
thought I could cast that on
probably
somebody
not.
else. I can't. Okay. Tony, you want to give me control of Meryl's barn?
I thought-
And then it's one last guy for you to.
Sorry about that. I thought you did have control of him. There you go.
No.
That should give it to you. You should be able to move him, do all the fun things in the world.
Cool. Yeah, I had a sheep, but I couldn't move him.
Oh, it's probably because I stuck him on the. I gave you control of an NPC that wasn't on the combat tracker. My bad.
Gotcha.
Incompetent DM 101.
No.
But
If this thing is huge, would I be able to like ride on it so I can see?
hypothetically, yes.
Yeah,
But you'd move at his movement speed.
which is 30.
About the same as me, and I'm sure it would get me farther in places faster. So
You can also
If I
move
can.
through its. You can move through his movement area without an imposed penalty due to his size.
yeah. I think what I'll do is I'll ask Roland. You think I could ride him so I could get a better vantage point? That way I can make sure that we're making the right calls.
You can ask him yourself. He can speak.
What was his
He's
name?
semi-intelligent. Is Meryl.
Meryl. Hey, Meryl. Hey, big mushroom, Meryl.
Yeah, he just basically talks in a very even deeper voice than Roland in Undercommon. Yes.
Can I climb on you so I can see across the battlefield?
Of course.
Wicked. And I just start climbing up to the top of him.
Okay. Adra, so you're leaving her back there, or are you guys wanting? So you guys said you wanted to move her up. I didn't know if you can move her token. I honestly have no idea.
Nope.
I can.
Okay. All right. So everybody roll initiative.
Oh yeah.
Here we go.
Initiative.
I will roll for Adra and the Shield Guardian. Can I roll individually? Let's see. Clipboard. What's
Dang.
lead item? Create item.
Okay.
Meryl got a 7.
Can you manually enter that onto the combat tracker? I'm not sure what you guys can do. That's why I wanted to double check.
I will check. I don't think I can. Nope.
7, funnily enough, exact same thing as the Shield Guardian. And of course, we have Adra Nix with her own.
I only got one more.
All right, so NPCs have all been revealed. Her pointer has been removed. So, and I just opened up the light. So this is a map someone I found online, and I went ahead and created the light and the walls.
This is epic.
I actually didn't use this, but in the future I'm going to, because it actually wasn't a thing at the time. That pit there in the middle. You can actually, now Fantasy Grounds has pits that you can use. So your character just falls in a pit and can't get out.
Huh.
But we'll just do it the old-fashioned way where I throw your token against the wall if you walk in the pit.
Yeah.
If you guys want to see something funny, you can take a look at the, if you haven't already, the meme channel, I think it was. So Tasha was going to share pictures of us eating turkey legs.
Is that what that was?
Yes, she walked up to a turkey leg food truck and said, "I want a chicken leg," and the guy looked at her kind of weird. And I said, "It's a turkey." And for the rest of the day, she kept saying, "Yeah, I ate a chicken." I said, "It's not a chicken." She said, "Whatever. It was a winged bird." I said, "Opposed to the wingless birds."
Yep.
And then she
Yep.
hit me.
Well, I feel like you almost deserve that, Tony, but I won't say more.
I absolutely deserved it. It doesn't make it less fun. All right. I'm gonna throw a item on here, and I'm gonna put it all the way at the bottom. You guys don't need to worry about it. It's going to be NPC danger. That'll remind me to roll a check for that. All right. So round one, as you are moving. Now, mind you, there are other avenues. Your forces are essentially arrayed in battle lines when the gnolls, as gnolls do, essentially wash over your forces, slamming into them. And the battle begins taking place. War drums. And so the battle essentially engages all around you. But there are definitely spells going, battle engaging around you. You're having to move around a knoll by doing battle against the Zentarum spy with a Lord's Alliance troop standing side by side. So it's something you want to be aware of
Alrighty,
as you
well,
move through in terms of environment. It doesn't really affect you per se.
Spirit is going to kind of use Meryl as a sort of like living, I wouldn't really say a shield, but kind of more like cover. And she's going to stick out, she's going to use her short bow, she's going to attack this Shusuva in the distance. And miss, apparently. I guess that was because since it was automatic disadvantage since she was right behind him.
Sense.
So, alright, she's gonna try and see if she can maybe move up to beside him. And take another shot. Jeez. And yeah, with that second shot, she's just gonna retreat back and just take her sword and get ready to pummel the next person that gets all up in her grill.
The old ready action reference all up in the grill.
Yep.
All right. So as you guys are doing battle, as your forces are engaging, the Shisuva, appearing to be some type of demonic, tailed hyena hybrid, definitely, definitely demonic in its nature, and it moves up. Its slavering maw dripping with this green, poisonous looking drool. Its stinger also dripping this putrid looking venom. As it moves up in this general area, it almost hunkers down, and you get the impression that this creature is not prone to the gnoll weakness of charging headlong onto the spears of its enemies. Another Shusuvu moves up and seems to hold almost with its front paws on the ground in a readied position.
Okay. Going to move up to there. Then fire a crossbow bolt underneath the giant tree monster. Actually, not that I see. I will start with casting bonus action. Hunter's Mark. Get this dogman. And then heavy crossbow, fire a bolt at it. Resisted, okay. And that is my turn.
Okie dokie. I am going to I'm gonna rage. Actually, yeah, no. I will rage first and foremost. And then I'm going to take one of my javelins. Should have 5. And I'm going to throw it at Josuba number 24. That is bollock. But I have a second attack, so I will throw another one. That's also really shitty. So I'm a little too far away, I think. So, I guess that's my turn for now.
All right. So as you guys are discovering you're not the best when it comes to ranged weapons, this Flind moves forward. He moves forward 30 feet. And for the record, there is no area that is difficult terrain in here. This is the bones and things are being jostled. These are old bones anyways, braziers. There's nothing in here that's going to give you difficult terrain, so feel free to move as you choose. So the Flind moves forward. First thing you notice right off the bat is he is carrying a flail. The flail itself has... he's carrying a flail. It has 3 different flail heads. I don't know if you're still looking at the picture where you can see 2. Each of the 3 heads has a different skull with different aura around it. It's clearly magical, or at least infused with something not nice. With that being said, the flail hangs from its belt. He pulls a longbow as it moves forward and knocks 3 separate arrows. And it holds its longbow up, aiming directly at Dronga and releasing 3 separate arrows all at her.
Fucker.
Hey, good thing you're raging.
Yep. Miss. Hit him.
As
Nice.
is often the case when you try to overdo things, all 3 arrows fly, and all 3 arrows clatter around Drunga. But it does appear that 3-arrow method does seem to be something that would have stung if it would have hit. Alright, Adranix. We're probably not going to have a second round, so we'll probably be doing the second round next game. Is there anything you guys want her to do? I'm looking at her magic, bearing in mind that she is a bard. So giving out bardic inspiration can be done if you want to use going into battle. She also has a number of spells that aren't really on the a vicious mockery. It looks like that would be her main one. That's 60 feet range. So is there anything you guys want her doing, or just kind of holding, moving up, anything like that?
Give Axe something that might help make the tree harder to kill.
Let me take a look. Now, let me read this spell. That's a heal spell. No, it doesn't seem to be. She has a tremendous amount of bonus things. She does have bardic inspiration. I don't know what her bardic school is. I'm checking it right now. Looks like she's the College of Lore. So, as an action.
Yeah, that aura of vitality might be good though. Like, cause that's like she puts that out, right? And then
Correct.
every turn she gets to use it.
So Aura of Vitality lasts for a minute, and it's a 30-foot aura until it ends. The aura moves with her, centered around her, and she can use a bonus action to cause any creature to regain 2.6 hit points. I'll move her up to here and have her cast Aura of Vitality, and that way she will have it available. And I'll see if I have a token for it. If not, I will put it on her in terms of a 30-foot circle.
That does sound good though, yeah.
Okay, so 30-foot circle, I'm going to go ahead and wrap that around her. One of the fun things about higher level battles is you do also tend to find yourselves not being, what's the word? Not being in battle against idiots. They don't just charge forward. So that's a double-edged sword, of course.
Is that metal armor that they're wearing, or is it still like considered leather?
Well, the Shisuvas are wearing no armor, but they're demonic hide. The Flines are wearing chainmail, and yes, it is absolutely metal.
Cool. So I wasn't sure if that was just
That's the sound
artistic
of someone
stuff.
getting the answer they wanted.
Yeah.
We thinking maybe a little heat metal, probably.
Yeah, I've had it. Oh fuck! Do I even have it prepared? I don't have it prepared.
Oh no!
I've had this spell forever. I wanted to use it. I had it prepared for the longest time. Never faced any enemies that had fucking metal armor or metal weapons. Yeah, thank you for that. But
I had that prepared for a while too, but mine was ready.
Okay, 60's a bit there. Cool. I don't have to move up. So I will cast. Let's cast Call Lightning at level 4.
Okay.
Lightning works. Still metal, still conducts electricity.
Yeah. Let's make the circle first. Centered right there. Oops, that's one size too big. There we go. Because I can only see 60 feet. And then these guys are close enough. Let's attack both these guys.
Now that call lightning doesn't affect us, does it? Just out of stupid curiosity? Okay.
Well, it depends on if he targets you.
Yeah, if I attack near you enough, because it's a 5-foot radius kind of thing. So I hit those two guys. Oh, whoops! I forgot to make them do saving throws first. They both
Nice.
failed anyways. And I'm concentrating on Call Lightning. I won't use my bonus action yet. At least not for changing into wild shape. So that'll end my turn. Meryl will move up with Dronga. Not too far. Yeah, we'll go say 20 feet.
Testing my webcam. I'm recently moved it.
Oh, there's more. And then I'm assuming Dronga would kind of come with them, but
Presumably.
Yeah.
That's up to her whether she hangs on or not.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then he'll hold an attack action for when somebody gets within 15-foot reach for one of his let's go for a grasping strand.
Okay.
He'll try to get somebody with a grasping strand when they come within 15 feet of him.
I will need you to be aware of who is within 15 feet. I will just move up the Shield Guardian. Shield Guardian is going to... Alright, the Shield Guardian is going to take a ready action and attack anything that comes within 5 feet of Adra Nyx, just because I don't know how she wants to use it. I don't want to put it in a position of taking actions. I did say earlier there was no difficult terrain, which makes it pretty good.
What was that, Tony? I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, I couldn't hear
Very
either.
muffled.
How about now? Better?
Little.
But yeah,
A little bit, yeah.
Alright.
we can see that you're talking in Discord, but we can't hear you, Tony.
Nope. I have you like turned up max and I barely heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
I say, yeah, we just saw him drop from the voice call. It's funny because I had like the music
I
set.
think he said he was messing with his camera or whatever, so it might have like automatically switched over to his camera microphone.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, because I have the music channel at like 40%, and I can hear it just fine. It's like it's kind of like on the same level as you guys almost.
Cool. Okay, I didn't fuck that up.
What way for a session to end on? Technical difficulties, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's he was pretty much going to end it right now anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, just can't hear his closing remarks.
Yep. The Kleins and the Knolls all die, and we win, and it's an epic friggin' battle.
They all get smoked.
Yep, Tony says that is correct. Preparing to end the game. No idea what happened to the headset. What he was saying is that there's no difficult terrain. Then that hole is definitely unfriendly.
Yeah.
Alright. So we're gonna make Marl burn, smack some of these guys into the hole, and problem solved.
Yeah, give him the shove action. He's got a strength of fucking 23, so
Yes.
Oh hell yeah! Yeah, I'm down. I'm right behind that.
he can also like does 4 attacks. And
Whoa.
2 of them can be grasping.
Okay.
He says he will roll the NPC danger roll at the start of the next game. We will resume battle next week. So
Sounds good.
sounds good to me too.
Alrighty. Well, good game, you guys. I'm very
good game.
excited to see what happens next week.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good week. He says. Yep. Hell yeah.
All right, see you later.
Take it easy, everyone.
Mm.
Yeah.
You know, guys.